Hey, Katie.
Hey, Michelle.
Hey, so we are here for Mailbag Misconceptions.
Number two. All
We did
right.
one before, and now we're doing another one.
What is this
Yes,
misconception that we are addressing?
we are addressing that therapists are perfect people with perfect lives that have no problems. They're blank
Have
slates.
everything have figured out, right?
Yes, experts on everything.
So then maybe it's time for a very brief mailbag confession, if that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So years and years ago, well, not that many years ago, but a few years ago, I had one of those dark nights of the soul kind of nights where I just sort of lay in bed and I couldn't sleep. And I was just going through in my mind the litany of all the dumb things I've ever done in my life. Not like major transgressions, but just stupid things, embarrassing things, whatever. Like I was just going through my list. And I woke
Mm-hmm.
up in the morning and I thought, oh my God, how can I be a therapist for other people if I don't have my own shit together? And I went to see my supervisor. We were actually meant to be talking about other stuff, but this came up. And I told her my story and she looked at me and she's like, wait, were you under the impression that once you became a therapist, you'd have it all figured out? And I kind of took a step back and I thought, shit, yes, actually. Yes, I was under that impression. And she's like, oh, no, that's not how it works. And so now when I think about it, she was right. First of all, she was amazing. But I think about it more from the perspective of the paddleboarding that I love so much, right? When I first started paddleboarding, I learned on a little cottage lake in Northern Ontario, very calm, very sweet. And I was like, this is so easy. I can do this. I bought a paddleboard. I was very excited. I went down to Lake Ontario and at 1% wavy, I could not keep my board. I was falling all over the place. Fast forward over the years and I've practiced, right? And done the work. And now it's not like I never fall off my board. I do, but it takes a lot more to push me off. And when I do fall off, I'm much faster getting back on. And so when I think about being a therapist or therapeutic work in general, that's what we're looking for, right? We're looking for
Yes.
balance, resilience, and flexibility. So it's not like you're never going to fall off your board. Of course you are, but you get back on a lot more easily, right? A lot faster. And then you can move forward. Yeah.
Absolutely. It's kind of reminding me even when people talk about, I hate the word triggers, but just for ease of what that means. Triggers, activation, right? And they're like, oh, I never want to feel this again. And once I do the work, I'll never have to and I'm kind of
Right.
like,
I'll be unimpacted.
yes, I'll be like, this will no longer trigger me. I'll be
Yeah.
completely
I'll be
over
fine.
it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I hate to break it
No,
to you, but your kind of gut visceral reaction to something, you can't really control, right?
you cannot.
But having done a lot of therapeutic work from it, it's like you said, right? You rally faster, it maybe doesn't impact you as deeper, and then you're able to get past it faster. So the cycle from the moment of impact to trying to process it and rally back from it is so much shorter
Right.
and often easier, right? And
Yes.
also the more you practice it, like you said, that
Yep.
loop is faster. It's more of a worn thing where you're like, oh, ooh, like that hurt or whatever, right? Like
Yeah.
recognizing it, getting the support you need, and moving forward. And so that's what I think therapy can really help you with.
Yes.
That's what we employ as therapists. We are not perfect people. Unfortunately, we do not have everything figured out. I wish we did. I will
That would be
often tell
great.
clients, I wish I could solve this problem for you, snap my fingers and it's over, and not that powerful.
No, but with practice, that journey from impact to resolution can be faster and less painful, ideally, right?
Absolutely. When you've been knocked off your board 100 times, the 101st
Yeah.
time it happens, you're not as phased by it because you're like, oh, I
No,
know this experience. I've done this before
you
and I know I can get back up, right? So
take it in stride. Absolutely.
yeah, the more practice you have with dealing with those emotional triggers or dysregulations, it's the stronger and better you get at it. It doesn't impact you the same way.
Exactly. All right. So that is mailbag misconception number two. Please like and subscribe if you like our stuff. What are some misconceptions that you have heard or perhaps hold or even just want to investigate? Let us know.
Yeah, we'd love to hear from you. We want to know what you think, what things you imagine therapy to be if you've never been to therapy, or if you have been to therapy a lot of times and you're still like, I wonder about this. We would love to know.
All right. Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Katie.